A pleasant good morning to each and everyone. I think I saw somewhere that they called today International Women's Day. So, happy International Women's Day to you ladies out there. Happy International Women's Day to you. Right. So, good morning again to all who will join us. Just one moment, please, my dear brothers and sisters. Right. Now, I want us to go through, so much I think happening in space, bombarding us back to back. Like a different kind of evil just all of a sudden take over Trinidad and Tobago. And the most, everybody in it, everybody, sharing some part of that craziness that is taking place. But you know why I sat there yesterday on God's Sabbath and I'm meditating and I'm listening back and looking back at these things. I looked up for some texts and I want to repeat them before I start my discourse. The first one is Isaiah 58:2, and it says, "Yet they seek me daily and delighted to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness and forsook not the ordinance of their God. They ask of me the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching God." They take delight in approaching God. They want justice. Everybody wants justice. And people take delight in approaching God. Good morning, my dear family. Right? That is text 1. It says, none called, text 2. Isaiah 59:4. It says, none calleth for justice, nor any pleadeth for truth. They trust in vanity, and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. That is the kind of Trinidad and Tobago we're living in right now, sad to say. Next text says, same Isaiah, I'm going to verse 9 in chapter 59. It says, "Therefore is judgment far from us, neither doth justice overtake us. We wait for light, but behold obscurity, for brightness, but we walk in darkness." The last text I'll be reading now, Isaiah 59:14, it says, "And judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter." Especially that last text. No truth, no justice, no nothing in this island. The first thing, the first thing that I was privy to that happened, I want to start with our little island of Tobago. In our little island of Tobago, we saw that a young lady left to Trinidad and came over here. For whatever reason she came. That is not the important thing to me. The fact is that she came here and somebody on the island of Tobago, whether they be Tobagonian or they be Trinidadian, and that is another piece of foolishness that's be taking place. When things happen here, people like to jump up and say, "Oh, it's them Trinidadian, come and do it." And we saw that when this killing spree was taking place, it wasn't nobody from Trinidad coming here to murder nobody here. It was people right here murdering people, from police to civilian, murdering people in cold blood. You're seeing it on camera and no justice for nobody. So somebody went and they take out the girl, right? They tell themselves that they give life. Then next thing, John Public outside there, talking the worst things about the young lady. All you don't know where she's from, all you don't know she's background, all you don't know nothing, but it's a set of nasty things is being placed out there against your name. That is the kind of country that we're living in now. You don't know left from right, but you have all kind of things to say. In other words, it seemed to me that the majority of people in this country called Trinidad and Tobago, this Twin Islands nation called Trinidad and Tobago, love darkness more than light. They love evil more than good. So instead of empathize and sympathize with the people when they murder them, oh, that this, that she was a this, she was a that, she was a the other. But I just always say, as human beings, we just, people that say, you know where you are, you don't know where you're going to reach. You see this kind of dirty way that people have, that they only want to sit them out there and be ill-speaking and saying things contrary about people. Let it go ahead. I do hope that that girl's family get justice. I know them things hard to come by in this nation right now. When you watch and see how things going, justice and judgment, very hard to come by. As the text says, judgment is turned backwards and justice standeth afar off. For truth is fallen in the street and equity cannot enter. It is such a sad thing. Right? The next thing, another police murder. According to the families and the witnesses, what you call it, statements. And according to what I heard from Ian Allen, which is questioning these people, another police murder. Which part of the world always ever see? Boy, I tell all of me to watch them American people. I like to watch them kind of thing there. It have the first 48. It have all kind of this police show. It have when police do brutal things. And the reason why the police and them in America does get caught is because they have to wear body cam. They have camera in their car. They have body cam too. Sometimes some of them so rogue and wicked, they just turn off their body cam, forgetting that it have others around who does have on their own too. And these days, how they just want everybody to have a camera in their house. People just a camera up. So somewhere, somehow, somebody does get a video of what took place. And the thing about it, when I listened, the first thing, you know, you're driving in them vehicle and hear people talking about, like, oh, well, he was a murderer. He was out on bail for murder. Because he was out on bail for murder. So because somebody was held for a murder, were you there to see that that person committed a murder? No. There was a story too, where the mother, the boy's mother, had a voice note that she played, right? When the boy was talking to she about the case, right? And he's saying straight and plain that, right, how the thing going. They didn't have no evidence against him. And his plan was, when he get off of that, he was going to sue the state. He had planned to sue them. So it seemed as though the boy was even wrongfully accused. Whether wrong or right, who give the police the power to walk into people's place and just kill them? Why it is people just sit down and just open your mouth and blah, 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 blah. Who say we call them police that mean they're good? They are very much bad, rogue police. They are good ones too. They are good ones too. And you know something? They had this long thing. And this same guy who named Wayne Surge, I think he's one of the person who gone there, Minister Surge. Right? He spoke in the same video. Somebody made a longish video. Right? With Ian Allen's story and thing. But it is so long. If it wasn't so long, I would have played it. But it's too long. Right? So they made that video and they had Mr. Wayne Surge, first part of the video, speaking about the rogue elements and the gangs. And the gangs start from the top. And the people and them who in all the criminal activity, the most of it. And listen to me. When you check out this country called Trinidad and Tobago, I just ask the question every day, who bring guns into the country? Them boy who does by the street corner smoking weed and selling drugs for another man and all kind of thing, them could bring gun here? Can they bring these kind of weapons here? Who does bring in the containers of weapons? And when they pass through points, Lisa's and wherever else it is be coming in the containers, when they reach them place, who does, how the container and them does move in, as somebody else put it there, like they does do transformation. So the container is transformed into a car, and the car now does leave and go with the guns and whatever else. Nobody do offload nothing. We know for a fact that the high merchants and the high politicians are all steeped in evil. There may be some whose hands are clean. You understand me? They say you can't just put a broad brush on everybody. Some whose hands are clean. But we know that there are criminal elements in this country, and all the want who breaks the laws. We know that the PNM government is the most corrupt government. Even Christopher Rowley, he opened his mouth when he was talking about Amy Brown, and he said, what did he say? He had evidence of the things that they were doing to women and what they were not doing to people. He have evidence. So he have evidence. He could hold it over the throat, the kind of wicked, nasty things that these people used to be doing out there. And we in Trinidad and Tobago just like to sit down and listen to these wicked people, some of them, and follow after their dotishness and follow after their wickedness. Listen to me. This morning here, you understand? I have some videos, I have some articles here that I intend to share. Right? I want to look just now. Like for instance with the SOE. Right? This the state of emergency. It had SOE. Before this government came into power, there was an SOE. They came in and they added on the SOE. They extended it. Good? People cussing, they're carrying on, they're getting on. Oh, the government know what they're doing, the this, the that, the other, each other. But all I remember when Rowley they called it SOE, he had called it. That's so. I play in this article. Somebody remembered it. They said, remember this. Rowley as Prime Minister said SOE had to be done. Right? So I'm playing it. I want to listen.
Called for an extension of the current state of emergency,
Listen.
emphasizing the need for additional time to tackle the root causes of the current crisis. Dr. Rowley moved the motion to extend the SOE in the House of Representatives on Monday. The SOE was declared in Trinidad and Tobago on December 30th, 2024 for a 15-day period, and the government is seeking to extend it for a period of 3 months. Mahila Joseph Wharton has the details.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley explained that the government and law enforcement agencies require more time to fully utilize the tools provided under the state of emergency, including enhanced support from the Defense Force.
We need more time to have this intervention impact upon the circumstances which caused us to be here, which caused us to declare the emergency, which caused the president to be convinced that the time has come, the situation warrants it, and we are under a state of emergency, and that state of emergency and the powers that we have given to our officers should be maintained for a while longer.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley did not offer Parliament a specific reason for extending the state of emergency, but reiterated why it was initially declared.
That gang warfare had been imminent, gang warfare action had been taken, retaliation was the expected action, more deaths, more mayhem was to be expected, and therefore governmental authority had to intervene, if not to bring sobriety, but to bring some element of increased and improved law enforcement to the lawless.
At the same time, law enforcement focuses on tackling criminal elements.
We did take note of how could we have the additional powers for the defense force, the additional access for the police, going after the criminals who are seen to be the offenders, who would be detained without affecting, as far as we are able to, the general public.
Given the current circumstances, Dr. Rowley stated that extending the state of emergency for 3 more months is the best course of action.
Right, so
Dr. Keith
Rowley could have do that, right? When they were in power, they could have extended the SOE because they found reasons to extend it. But now, it's not supposed to the Prime Minister don't have no sense, she have no this, she have no that. I tell all of you, I'm reviewing everything from this week. Another article, I saw this article. I didn't even know that, what is she naming? Nayam Gasby Dolly had gone so far away from being a sane person, and she talking about the Prime Minister. That girl there, she need help. I'm reading from my editorial. The national discussion on school violence and discipline should have been an opportunity for serious reflection and informed debate. Instead, it has been dragged into the gutter by a response that is as shocking as it is disappointing. Right. Former Minister of Education, Dr. Nayan Gasby Dolly, once entrusted with shaping the intellectual and moral direction of the nation's schools, chose to respond to Prime Minister Kamla Prasad's predecessor's policy comments, not with reason, data, or informed argument, but with an extraordinary display of crude personal abuse. Her exact words, Nayam Gasby Dolly, all of who like to jump up and shout up and love them up. Here, Gasby. Her exact words. Kamla, I don't know what the rest she said because some words were taken out, right? Because she put some dot there, right? But it continues. If you were not an old lady, I would tell you where to haul a body part, which we all hold dear. But you are old and clearly in early stage dementia. So all I'll say to you, to your handlers, is come, get your granny, please. Right? Totally disrespectful and shameful and shameless. If she didn't, if Kamla was not old, she would have said she would to go and haul and wanted to haul. And that girl supposed to be a Christian. Always want to talk about Christian and 7 days and tell me are 7 days as much as I am a Seventh-day Adventist. I'm proud to be. Nayam Gasby is one too. Nayam Gasby grew up in the fear and adoration of the Lord. And because you're not in power, that's how low you want to go to say you speaking about the what you call it, Prime Minister. And as the person says, pause for a moment and consider that statement. I will read it over. Kamla, if you were not an old lady, I would tell you where to haul a body part which we all hold dear. But you are old and clearly in early stage dementia. So all I'll say to your handlers is come get your granny, please. Totally disrespectful and shameless. And as the author of this article said, these are not careless words of a late night anonymous commentator on social media. These are the words of a former Minister of Education. And I love this part here. The same officer responsible for guiding teachers, setting behavioral standards in school and teaching young citizens the difference between between disagreement and disrespect. Right? Now, as somebody said too, if a child in a school They say anything close to what Nayam Gatsby Dolly say. If a child watch a teacher in a school and open their mouth and say damn, or even tell the teacher you're ugly, or tell the teacher any kind of thing out of the way, they must suspend them. They're suspending them. What kind of nation do we have? So that because people in a place they call parliament and they say the parliament is a sacred place, I don't know how it's sacred, they put it, they give it sacredness, which means, you know, inside of there you're supposed to have respect for one another. Yeah, let me put a little jab like the other day when Jolene had also tell them watch me, she not hungry for office. Them is small thing, you understand me? But for this woman to stand up there and rant and rave, and I watched something the other day with she again too. When she was talking about CPAP and things, and she ranting and she raving, the PNM people all they need to carry Nayam Gatsby Dolly somewhere to go and take a checkup. She needs a checkup because she's getting out of hand. Next one. This next one. Some little crazy girl, a little crazy. I to say, what to call she? Racist. Well, she racist for she won't say, because the girl like she don't even have a proper brain in she head. Open she mouth and say she calling what? She said she talk about nigga man. And how they like kobo and they like monkey. How much time people just talk that? And Juliet Davy find it, oh, that is so this and so that. So she jump up and she talk. She said, what a shame. No wonder the people in the East-West Corridor reject Kamala and the UNC. And then she talk about Satmara. Satmara and them is dead people. How much years now the man they're dead? You're talking about Satmaraj. Does Satmaraj have anything to do in this present world? And whoever the other man is, I ain't even sure. But she calling them people name. And then to add insult to injury, I don't know. People, we are supposed to have a brain in our heads. How we guys have people like Juliet, Davy, and all of them? So always have we in this dotishness. And my partner's cat who put it up. I hope you doesn't be liming around with no Indians in her. I just hope that all your friends that you have, they be Negro. And you're not going to no store that is an Indian man's store. I hope you doesn't buy doubles. I hope you doesn't eat roti that Indian cook. I do hope that you have no Indian friends, my friend, because you're just as dumb as Juliet Davy. I'm telling you like it is. She going on. Africans like Jolene John, Rodney Charles, Wade Mark, and others should be ashamed of what they represent in the eyes of those people. What does Jolene represent in whose eyes? Jolene and the people name she call, right? Let me call out more. Wade Mark, who again? The same Serge, who again? Roger Alexander, and all whoever else is Negroes who are in the parliament. What she's trying to say is that what is stupidity girl say? You understand me? Is a representation of how all Indians think about us. Boy, Juliet Davy, Trinidad and Tobago is a Douglarized nation, in case you didn't know. It's a Douglarized nation, and the foolishness will let us be unsafe, while they're trying to race bait people, and Trinidad people especially. Tobago too, because you have some very much foolish one here in this space named Tobago, called Sketlift Tobago. Or let's stop allowing people to think for all there. I may say something contrary to an Indian. An Indian may say something contrary about me. All of us came here, as I said already. All of us were slaves that came here. None of we ain't come, our foreparents are not originally from here. We were all bought here. Some in shackles, and some came behind without shackles, but they were still shackles because they came here and worked like slaves. So this kind of dotation to all the PNM people only trying to divide the nation of Trinidad and Tobago. All ain't gonna get through. All will not get through. Not at all. I am not going to sit back and let all do all the dotations and talk all this choppiness and leave it.
Prime Minister Dr.
Right? The next one, I want a little listen to.
I want to roll in memory a little bit. In some 2017 news,
listen to
over
the start.
25,000 citizens of Trinidad and Tobago have lost their job since Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley took office in 2015. Then we have 500 UTT workers, University Trinidad and Tobago, have lost their job since Rowley took office. Who remember this article? Trinidad and Tobago is experiencing its darkest period in our history. Over 63,000 jobs lost. Now you notice the pattern, eh? Only job lost, you know. No article was posted where thousands of jobs was created. Yeah? That is the PNM for you. Alright? And I keep saying.
Right? That's the other thing. Every day they come in and talking about this. You see what I'm saying? The Prime Minister made one bad out. Maybe she should have hold back with them and telling them that she will give them the back pay. But we know for a fact that woman is an honest woman, because if there was money in the treasury, we know that the people would have gotten their back pay. All the back pay would have paid, but it ain't had no money there. It had no money there, and it still not have. They are trying their best to implement situations so that money is going to be able to flow in the country. That is what they are trying to do. Right? The next person is Madam Nikosi. Madam Mr. Nikosi, wherever it be, right? Put up an article. 150,000, 150, not thousand, just 150 US soldiers in 3 hotels here in Tobago. 150 soldiers in 3 hotels here in Tobago. I want to know, Trinidad and Tobago citizens. Some of us grew up, all of us in fact, some people maybe was there when the Yankees were here. All I remember that Sparrow sing as well. When Sparrow got this song with Gina and Dinah and Rosita and Clementina and the Yankee gone and Sparrow take over now. And it is because Yankees were here at the time. Shagarama's base is one, a Yankee base. Wallafield, Komoto area, that no Yankee base, no, wasn't Yankee base. I don't know if they had any down in South Central. I never really hear about them from the south side. But I know in Tobago, there were bases too. Trinidad and Tobago, we getting on as though, well, these islands, we come and we just get them so, and we inherited just so. All kind of people used to fight for here, especially the Tobago here. It have a heliport up in Louisville. You understand me? No government of Trinidad and Tobago build that. That is some foreign Yankee people who build up them thing there. There is a thing that they used to call military tattoo. When these same Yankee and them, these same American who all don't like and British and wherever they has come from, used to come and give you some pretty army shows. They keep it in Dwight York Stadium in Roxborough. They keep it in Shaw Park down in town. Why all of those don't want them Americans here? Don't tell them Americans don't come here because of this and because of that. Once they are American, right now when an American come here, it's some kind of thing they're coming for. So you're trying to bring fear on people's mind. And I said that foolish people commenting on these things, I just watch them and say, wait, these people have any kind of common sense? Because I tell all you, reading book and learning thing and cramming it and put it inside of you, that's not common sense. Common sense make you have no reasoning powers. You can regurgitate something, you can go and cram something and write it on a paper and they give you a subject and they tell you, oh, you pass with this and pass with that. But then after now to articulate yourself and to explain it, you can't do it. My people of Trinidad and Tobago, we need to stop allowing these crooks to come in with space. And when I see it, boy, hey, people who are supposed to have a little sense, no sense at all, is race baiting, is causing a set of mayhem, is causing people trying to get killed because of the lies and the greed and the wickedness. Look what they do the other day. They had a debate. Because of some little stupid thing, they walk out. So when we have now 13 walkouters, every little thing, when they can't get away, they walk out, and people following that notice is there. When they can't debate, when they can't stand the truth from the debates, they walk out. Trinidad and Tobago people, despite what it is time for us to be wary of those PNM sycophants. We need to be wary of that babelic, diabolic organization that is called the PNM. These people doesn't want anything to do with the upliftment of our country. We know that we don't know where this world heading, but at the same time, if you hold on to them, you're going to head in the direction them heading. Rowley talk about state of emergency. Rowley, you understand me? Sign away. He agreed with the American people. I hear this one they call rambles, were rambling and some kind of foolishness he was saying. I don't even listen to everything where he just talk. But to me, like he's trying to say that no, Rowley went to sign and say he don't want America here. When Rowley could have do that? And he watch me. Somehow they want to sit out there and start talking on behalf of this man. Why the man doesn't come out and say, well, no, this is not so and this is so. The time when he wanted to come after Farley, he jumped up and he said, oh, Farley and them liar, this and that and that. When he was in power. Now he's a private citizen. And they like to push him out here and push him out here. Let him say that it was a lie. That what we saw signed and what the Guardian and all of them show that they signed, it was a lie. It was a lie. We have people like Gatsby and all the rest of them. Here the kind of thing where she gonna be talking about inside there. Gatsby have children. Gatsby has she old uncle and them, you know she father alive still. What she gonna want people to be calling them kind of names? And I could tell you, I am positively sure I know one of she uncle and I sure that man there is ashamed of she behavior. That is what powers does do to some people. That is why you see, it's not everybody power suits. And the only reason she inside of there, as Julia Davis said, the East-West corridor, the predominant in Negro race, the niggers and them, the predominant niggers, who tell themselves that when they go to vote, all you will see is a balize. You know you want better for yourself, but all you're going to see is a balize. And that woman is so foolish. Even though the East-West corridor did not vote for the UNC, the UNC got 26 seats. They have a clear majority in the House. So they can't shut down nothing there. So here what? The president packed the Senate with 9 independent, so-called independent people. 9 PNM there. Plus the senators that them have. So when their block of vote, they're going to be more than the UNC senators. So anything they try to pass in the lower house, the upper house, or whichever, yes, the upper house, them go shut it down. So they still hold the country of Trinidad and Tobago at our necks. They still have we in we throat. Right? In we throat, they still have us in we throat. And that is why I use those texts this morning and I'm going to read them over. I'll read these texts over, or let's sit down and understand and see what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. It have a set of people who used to pretend that there wasn't this and there wasn't that, and you know, all of them, the Nicosi, the Leroy George, all of them was a bunch of PNM people who were being paid by the PNM, it seemed, to see if they could have destabilized Tobago. But you see, when God ready to put up people in place, He put them there for a purpose. And I will always say, them all who run in this island now better run it with God in front, because all of them will crash. Every one all will crash. If all go down the road that them people used to go down before, everyone all go crash. And as the word say, yet they seek me daily, and they like to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness and forsook not the ordinances of the God. And we know that Trinidad and Tobago have forsaken the ordinance of God. They seek They ask of me the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching before God. That is Isaiah 58:2. And the 58:1 says, "I cry aloud, spare not, lift up your voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression and the house of Jacob their sin." He said, "First, open your mouth and talk it." Trinidad and Tobago is such a cesspool of evil. Police going in peace, and they didn't even go inside the house alone. The people, they said they go and they thief out everything that they had in the house. So right now you don't even know what to call these people, if to call them police. It's uniformed bandits there. How well I could do that? And then a whole multitude of them go and surround the people's house, inside the people's house for how much hours? And when they're inside the people's house, the people can't have access to the house. Which why you ever hear that police has gone and search people's property and you have to stay out of your house and them stay inside of there? Where I see people in America, all they're telling you, don't touch nothing. Stand up in the corner there. You can't touch nothing. This, that, and the other. And they're digging up, they're looking for what they're looking. And the next policeman got to happen and watch you to make sure that you ain't move and touch nothing or do nothing. And them doing a search. But a whole heap of them going search, thief, money, jewelry. And it's a good thing. The jewelry that they stole, these people already have pictures of them. So what they're going to do, take the whole bundle of jewelry and melt it down. Melt everything so that they can't get to find what is what. Mr. What's your name? Roger Alexander. You is the Minister of Homeland Security, they call it. The police and them under you still. You used to be on the tape and talking up big and this and that and the other. Please, pull in your rogues and them. And they're talking about police complaint. I can tell people about police complaint. An incident happened with me a couple years back. And it's sometime in last year. They go come by my door to come and ask me, you want to go ahead with this story? Were you telling me about go ahead with that story that finished how much years back? Am I a fool with them? No, so they go, come now to do that notice. Well, at least we came to make a no big place. You ain't no big backlog. You know to say it take months and they take years. Years. When you forget about these things, they come into you. Me, I'm telling you, I don't make no report to none of them. I just try my best to avoid the police. Because regardless of who they be, some of them, they're very wicked. And police getting away with too much of murder now. And lying and talking about people who have gone and who have gone. And when you look at the video too, they push him in a bathroom shooting. Where you get the gun from? He bareback. He fixing a sink. He bareback. You shove him in the house. He was sitting down in the gallery. You carry him inside the house. And you shoot up the place. And when you're done, you say that's how he shoot back. Where you get the gun from? I take my eyes already while I was living in Pinto Road and I witnessed the police shoot a crazy boy. He wasn't even sensible. And the police shot the man. Because he was carrying on a little erratic. They shoot him. He never fly at them. He never come at them. They shoot him and they kill him. They do these things. And you police out there who does be killing people. Remember, even though justice, even though as the text here, this text says, and judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. He go on to say, none call it for justice. These texts came from Isaiah 59. Right? He said, none call it for justice, nor any pleaded for truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. That is what they keep doing. The next text says, therefore is judgment far from us, neither does justice overtake us. We wait for light, but behold, obscurity, for brightness, but we walk in darkness. People of Trinidad and Tobago, let me check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Those who want righteousness and right doing, stand up for right. It have some voices out there that are paid. Imagine that. I tell her later, one writer in Tobago, my boy tell me straight up, and he said, boy, these people give me $20,000 to talk all kind of degrading thing against the chief secretary and everything I was doing on Facebook. I was paid. I take them money. I'm not stupid, but I don't want them in this space of Tobago. Right? Whether he lie or he true, well, about being paid, that is up to he. So these people prefer to pay people to propaganda, to mash up the nation. Look at what happened outside in the Middle East. I don't know the truth because it have people coming out and say that whoever was running Iran was an evil person and they're living over there. Then you're going to hear one star voice saying, oh, they're not supposed to do this and they're not supposed to do that. Look, I saw another article where the Prime Minister said, oh, she wants to bring back the death penalty. And a lot of people kicking back at that. Have you had a family member who was murdered? Have you had anybody who lost their life at these criminals? So the man who doing the killing now, he have more rights than the man who we kill or the family that he murder. The Bible tell me and God tell you, it's not every single person who kill, you understand me, supposed to be assassinated, just like that. Because he said, watch me, if two people have a fight or any kind of thing, or if a man get killed accidentally too, in those times they had cities where they call it cities of refuge, and the person had also go and stay there. And anytime he moved from there before the time, and any family member or whoever of the person who died find him, he could get killed. He look for death. Right? That's what I think they're supposed to be calling manslaughter. Accidental death. But Bible tell you, it starts from quite in Genesis. The Lord said, whosoever shed man blood, by man shall his blood be shed. Because man making it image of God, and because is God put the life in man. So long ago when they used to have the hanging and they hang this and they hang that. No, the ways of death, I can't tell them how to do it. But if you kill somebody, Bible says execute them. I could understand that, innocent people might pass. So make sure you have thorough investigation. Take the truth. Buy the truth and sell it, not thy Bible too. Take the truth. Weigh the evidence. And if you know that this person is a natural cold-blooded murderer, life for life, that is Bible. That is Bible. And when the Prime Minister said we are living in a lawless dump, some of them don't want to accept it. But it is what it is. It is what it is, a lawless dump. Because when I see all the justifying wickedness, I just marveling. I do marvel, but at the same time, I know my Bible. The book that a lot of all in Trinidad and Tobago now don't want to see or care to know. Or start to talk a set of foolishness out all your mouth. Bible ain't true. How Bible ain't true and everything Bible say come into pass like a blueprint. Everything just come into pass and they telling me Bible ain't true. The only true book I know is the Bible. The Bible. It's time enough as a nation of people to get ourselves together. Stop allowing wicked politicians, whether they be on the left or they be on the right, and anybody else to tell you how to live your life. And next thing too, people balling, all of the government bringing this law, they bringing that law. God give us a law. And in his law, he said, you mustn't kill. He said, you mustn't thief. He said, you mustn't be covetous. You mustn't lie against people. God put them there. And if all they listen to what God say, is government law, they're going to listen to? So no matter what the government do, how much SOE they put, and how much whatever they put, it would not help because the mind of the nation is not where it's supposed to be. We godless, some of you, and we prefer the wicked things, some of you. Look the other day with my partner, right? When the same poor girl who died, I tell her it's everything we're talking now. The same girl who died, who was murdered in Tobago, yeah. right? I saw an article that they said that she said what? Them Tobago man thirsty. And my good partner Lyndon took offense at that. But the girl and I, she and I, and that is a statement that anybody does use anytime. If they never used to be harassing, they went out caught she thirsty until they're ready to they jump now. They went so fast to say she was prostituting herself. What a wicked in this person, boy. Somehow they're good wicked in a boy. Sometimes you see men sit down at the side of the road. They see women passing and everybody they see the trouble. They're drinking, they're doing things and that and the other, and they're only troubling people, girl children. Go in all them villages where you see they have bar all about the place and tell me what kind of behavior you see. She was right when she said they're thirsty. They don't even know some other or them young one and them, although they don't even know if the girl and them is a walking cemetery in the sense that they're full of disease on them, but because they have other short pants quite up there, all they feel everything good and all they want peace. And when all they get the peace from them, all they want to go home now to the woman and them that all they call all their own, who feel that all is them man, and all they drop it to them too. So it's a sharing thing. God is a sharing thing all over the place. My dear people, morality is not in this place. Too much of worthless, lawless, reckless living. And the same people who just cry out and say, oh, me ain't have no money. You don't want to work when they give. Me want this work, me want that work. You want your own kind of work. You want what you want. I want an early morning work. And when you get the early morning work, you want another work. Some of them are working, you understand me, in good jobs. And yet still, all want a THA work too. And then some of them are working with the same THA, not understanding that if you are getting NIS from the THA, in a job, you can't get next THA work because you can't get NIS. If you're doing a private job, the private person could pay you and give you NIS plus your THA work. But no, all want, some all want everything. And then some people get nothing. It's a crazy, 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 crazy rat race world we're living in now. And I just hoping and praying to God that when we see all these evils taking place, we start to look up here, because let me tell you, it's going to get more bitter. Not all but better, more bitter. If we don't have a mind change and a behavioral change, I'm sorry for us. And parents and you outside there who want government to fix all your house, go ahead. God gave your children and your family to the government. So the government must come in and fix everything for you. And once everything is fixed as all you want, it costs the government. Costs the Prime Minister every day. And when she says she's doing this and she's doing that to bring things better, costs she, because all you don't want that. In one way, all you want she to do this. In the other way, all you costing when she do it. Make up all your mind what you want in this Trinidad and Tobago, eh? Make up all your mind. That is all I have to tell all the today. May God be merciful to us. May God be merciful to us. And Tobago men, try and have some behavior. It have thirsty men in Trinidad too, but remember Tobago is small. When all I see these people come, if they pass and they say, hello, hello, good day, beautiful, that is not thirsty. But you know, trying to link them up and think that is thirsty. That's why the girl always say all the thirsty. And I sympathize with the family of that young lady. May you all get justice. Those who, with the fellow, I think is Boodoo, David Boodoo, I think is his name. I hope you people get justice too. It is time for, and even the other guy who was murdered, who put up his hand, I pray God that these people get justice. Remember that they killed 4 boys and they hold them police. That please, Mr. Commissioner of Police and Mr. Alexander, bring justice to this place. Because you see the curse of the blood of these people who are being murdered recklessly in Trinidad and Tobago, it will continue to bring a curse on our island and not a blessing. Read all the Bible, the book all you feeling good, and you'll go hear what it has to say. So my dear people, I think I've spoken enough for one day. May we all enjoy the rest of our Sunday. And ladies, the Saturday is what International Women's Day. A good one to each and every one of you. Bye. Blessings.